Hey guys, welcome back. Today we have another Ratchet for you. This is a Billings Vitalloy. But before we start, can you do me a big favor and give this video a like? And if you haven't yet, could you consider subscribing? It would help me out a lot. And when you subscribe, hit that bell icon so you know when my next video drops. Alright, so here's a Billings Vitalloy C-147. These are probably from late 40s to the 50s. Actually, these were made by Herbrand for Billings, because Herbrand has an identical Ratchet to this in that time period. There's a profile. This has a bullet-shaped handle. The Herbrand also has a bullet-shaped handle, so it's pretty much a dead giveaway. This Ratchet has a very nice action. It's has a very slight back drag, like almost non-existent. It's pretty coarse though. You can hear those clicks. So let's take a look inside. This one has 4 screws. The switch. The switch goes up and down. It's kind of a bit different, unique. Usually you have like a lever switch here for a lot of Ratchets. This one has like a like a spiral pyramid switch. Goes up and down. It has 4 screws, small screws. When you first get these, like I said before, you're probably gonna have a lot of dirt, grease and whatnot stuck in those holes. So you might want to get a pick or something and pick out all that dirt and grease before you start unscrewing, so you won't strip out these screws. See, they're pretty small and kind of, I don't know, they look a little delicate, like you can strip them out easy. Alright. Yep, 4 screws, 4 small screws. Yeah, this is what they look like. Pretty thin. Pretty thin screws. And there's 2 on the bottom. And just pull up on the gear. And here's the plate. It's pretty thin. Not the thinnest, but not very thick either. Here's the gear. Pretty coarse gear. Looks like everything was chromed. Even the gear. It's either chrome or some other plating, I'm not sure. There's the ball detent. Not very tight. I mean, it works, but it's not the tightest. Looks a little shallow too, the ball. Okay. Here are the pawls. They have an interesting shape. They're not like the pawls you would find in like a plum or plum proto design. These have like a cutout and a particular wavy shape to them. And the springs, that's what the springs look like. And these pawls have a hole on the side for the spring. For the pointy end of the spring to go in, so that way the spring doesn't slide around too much. It's pretty neat. This is what the paw looks like. And this paw uses the screw, the bottom screws, as pivots. So that's how they pivot in the mechanism. It's with the bottom screws. Like 2 teeth paw. Here's the other paw. Has the spring connected, you can see. This is the more wavy of the 2 paws. See the two pretty big teeth there. It's the inside of the mechanism. It's the switch. Looks pretty neat in there, not, you know, like the way they cut everything out. Doesn't look too raggedy. Looks like they did a decent job. Okay. To get this back together, just take your paw, put the spring back in the side there. And you drop it in to its cutout there. And you take the other paw, get the spring in it, drop that in. Till it's cut out. Like so. And you got your gear. You put your gear in there. And I'll put the screws in, the pivot screws in, just to show how this mechanism works from the inside. It's switched. That's how the mechanism looks when it's working. And to finish it up, you just take your plate. I should get these screws out of here first. Okay. Put your plate on. Hold it down. Get your screws in. Don't over torque these because that little Phillips head, you're gonna strip it if you over torque these. And then you're gonna have a problem trying to find screws like these. Hopefully they have something that you might be able to find that'll fit in these in case you do strip them out, but why take a chance? Because a lot of these old screws they're kind of hard to find now. Okay. See if it works. Yep, working good. And there we have it. That's the Billings Vitalloy C-147 made in USA. Okay, so long.